Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today we are going to try to solve a problem of the highest magnitude. The Boston Celtics are currently 16-19, 3-7 in their last 10 games, and they are not even remotely close to the contender they once were a few years ago. So today, we're going to be doing a normal 3-year rebuild with them. I know I've already done a Celtics rebuild, but the times they are a-changing and the Celtics record is definitely dipping. So before we can go any further and hurt ourselves, possibly, I understand that, yes, I've already done this, and no, I'm not going to do 2 rebuilds with most teams. I'm just a Celtics fan, and today I'm going to try to keep myself together and be realistic, and hopefully we're going to go ahead and get this team a championship. Now, when I say realistic, I don't want you to think this is a realistic rebuild. It is not. I'm sure for those of you who are already commenting it. I do apologize. This is not a realistic rebuild whatsoever, but what we are trying to do today is accept the fact that this current Celtics core is nowhere even remotely close to a contender in the Eastern Conference. Hell, they're not even a playoff team right now. So we're going to get into this one, but before we do, if you guys get any other video ideas, feel free to leave them down below in the comments section. And as always, man, if you guys are new around here, feel free to subscribe, join the community. We're going to have a big, long upload streak going, hopefully. Let's get into this one. So the one fortunate thing about me doing a Celtics rebuild is that, yeah, I know the roster very well. Diehard Celtics fan here, always will be, but that also means I am not going to go ahead and kind of, let guys develop. I know what this team looks like right now. Dennis Schroeder is basically a one-year rental at this point. I don't really know if they were going to look to trade him around the deadline. I don't think you're going to get that much for a one-year rental. You might be able to get maybe a late-round first-round pick. I don't really know, though. He's here. He's probably getting traded before the year starts. Marcus Smart, who got an extension, a pretty decent-sized one. At that, he's Marcus Smart. He is what he is. He's a solid on-ball defender. He's a really good defensive player, ultimately. I think he's still underrated in that aspect. I don't think people talk about it enough, but Marcus Smart is not the playmaker you need at your starting point guard spot. And then Peyton Pritchard, for who God knows what reason, thank God 2K watches basketball, has a C-plus three-point shot. Maybe last night when the Celtics went 4 of 42 from beyond the arc. But, yeah, there's no way that Peyton Pritchard should have a C-plus three-point shot. Moving on. Jaylen Brown, one of definitely the bright spots on this team, if you will. He's probably going to be here the whole time. I will also make it abundantly clear for those of you who do think that the answer is to split up the Jays. It's not. They need to actually build around them in a way that complements Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They don't need to split them up. Not yet anyways. I'd give it at least 2-3 more years before you got into those talks. And I know you're saying, oh, then the contracts are up. I understand that aspect. You cannot just blow this team up in the offseason, though. Jaylen Brown's probably not going anywhere. Josh Richardson will be getting traded. I don't know if it's updated in here, but he actually has, I believe it's some sort of player option. Oh, it's a team option. Okay, whatever it is, he has an option next year. He's getting traded. Broderick Thomas is here. He actually played last night for the team. Actually didn't look that bad. Jason Tatum, he's definitely had some nights where he's been struggling. That's 100% going to be a fact. He's also currently second in the Eastern Conference, and actually he's in the NBA, whatever he is. He's second in something in all-around total points. So, the Jason Tatum slander, I get it. I mean, people were calling him the next coming of Kobe. All of a sudden, Jason Tatum has, an off start to a season, and everybody's saying, oh, look at these comparisons. Jason Tatum's not going anywhere. 40-year-old ISO Joe. It was cool to see him score a bucket. Ultimately, he's obviously not in the long terms with his team whatsoever, but, with the COVID, everybody being out, they had to sign him. Aaron Nesmith looked decent for a minute. Ime Udoka hates him. It's interesting. Romeo Langford, he's just not really good, if we're being honest. Al Horford's actually been surprisingly one of the bright spots of this team. He's actually looked really solid for the most part. Grant Williams, I was dead wrong about this dude. He's turned into the next Steph Curry. He's been an absolute pleasant surprise this year. Jabari Parker, he's just basically useless for me. Robert Williams also been another bright spot of this team. He's been really solid, especially on the offensive side of the boards. I think he can do a lot with this team. He's probably going to be here the entirety of this video. Enes Kanter, Enes Freedom, whatever you want to call him. The fact that he's a 78 overall is crazy. He's technically our 6th man right now, I believe, at that overall. There's just no shot that he's actually staying on this team. And then Bruno Fernando, who really hasn't played at all. But we're going to make some moves. I'll see you guys with the first trade. And we're going to start this video off by doing a trade that I actually love a lot. Dennis Schroeder, Josh Richardson heading over to Washington. We are picking up Spencer Dinwiddie, who would be a tremendous addition for this team. In real life, he's on a 3-year deal, and he's not making nearly max money whatsoever. So really good pickup for us right there. Really off to a good start. What we need to figure out now is who we do want to start at the power forward spot. Now, I know the Celtics have been running a lot of rotations that include both Horford and Williams. They're starting at center and power forward, respectively, whatever way you want to put it. I actually don't really like that. I prefer it when these guys are not in the game at the same time. I think they both do a lot of good things on the defensive end of the ball. I just think ultimately I feel like you're almost kind of maybe clustering too many people together, and then you obviously lose a lot of three-point shooting. But this team definitely does need to pick up some more three-point specialists, and we are probably going to do that with our next trade. Let's go find it. Our next move here is going to be coming with the Memphis Grizzlies. Enes Freedom and Joe Johnson heading over to Memphis. We're picking up Xavier Tillman, who is a lot younger. He's 22 years old, and he's also a lot cheaper than Enes Freedom would be if we re-signed him. So, welcome to the team, Xavier Tillman. We also pick up Sam Merrill. He's unfortunately not going to really, play for us at all. But Xavier Tillman going to be a good complementary backup piece here to Robert Williams. And we now need to figure out our backup small forward spot. I don't know if I love, having Aaron Nesmith there, but we also have to include the aspect of, is Jason Tatum going to have a backup the whole time? And I really don't know if that's the case right now. So we do need to figure out the backup shooting guard spot. That's probably our next move, and I'll see you guys with that trade. And our final move before we do start sim year number 1 is going to be coming with the Milwaukee Bucks. Raul Neto and Romeo Langford. I am saying goodbye, cutting the losses. We are picking up Grayson Allen. I mentioned it to open this video. This team needs shooters, especially off the bench. Grayson Allen, I'm not a huge fan of him. I really don't like the dude overall, but he's definitely a good shooter. He's going to come in and be my backup shooting guard off the bench. We're now going to get into the rotation before we do start sim year number 1. So we made 3 trades. I think they all helped us. We are now here with the finalized rotation for season number 1. It looks like this. Spencer Dinwiddie, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, and Robert Williams. Now, I know I did say that I don't really love having Horford and Williams in the starting 5 together. Unfortunately, with the way things worked out, they're going to have to be in here for year number 1. Ultimately, past this season, I don't really see it happening, but for at least for now, I definitely do have to have both these guys in here. I think if I were to plug in maybe a Grant Williams at power forward instead, I think I lose a lot of defense with Horford, which I really just don't want to do. So it's going to be like that for now. Our bench unit, Marcus Smart, he's going to be our 6th man. I do like having him there on defensive side of the ball. And then Grayson Allen, 18 minutes a night. I mean, him and Smart, 22 versus 18 is really not a crazy amount of difference of minutes. So relatively speaking, they're both pretty much 6 men. I also do have Xavier Tillman here, and then Grant Williams going to be getting 14 minutes a night. We're only doing a 9-man rotation. I think maybe Nesmith, if he develops a little bit more, could end up playing, but I definitely do want to have him there as the 10th man in case he doesn't need to get into the game. So this is the team. I don't think this is a championship team right now, but I'm hoping this team turns out a lot better than the Celtics are currently doing in real life right now anyways. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 1 here in Boston. Year number 1 comes to a close. We are a 6th seed here in the Eastern Conference. Overall, not that bad. Not exactly where I want to be, but kind of around where I was expecting to be. Kind of catch my drift. Nikola Jokic officially goes back-to-back in the MVP. Cade Cunningham, your Rookie of the Year. Andre Drummond. These really never change here in this first season. Willie Green, yeah, the Pelicans tend to be very, very good. All right. We will take a look at the standings overall-wise. We finished with a record of 47-35. If by some miracle of God the Celtics can actually achieve 47 wins this year in real life, I would be very impressed. Unfortunately, I just really don't see it happening. We'll now take a look at some stats. Jason Tatum doing his thing. Him and Jaylen Brown are a tremendous 1-2 punch. Al Horford, Spencer Dinwiddie, Robert Williams, Marcus Smart, Grayson Allen, Xavier Tillman, Grant Williams, Aaron Nesmith. It goes on. Rebounds went to Williams, and assists went to Dinwiddie. So, we're not in the play-in, but we do have to face Milwaukee here in the first round, who's not exactly my favorite team to play. And if you remember the wise words of Paul Pierce after the Celtics won one game against the Milwaukee Bucks, I think a couple years ago in the playoffs, he said it was, quote, over, and I believe the Bucks went on to win 4 straight. So, thank you, Paul Pierce, Celtics legend. We do finish, oh wow, we're actually up 2-0, 3-0. Okay. I did not see that one coming. We get by the defending NBA champs. Giannis just, I guess, shits the bed or something, and now we get to face probably a more talented roster in general, at least, big 3-wise with Kyrie, Harden, and Durant. Yeah, probably not more talented, but they definitely have, the 3 best players. Like, I would rather have KD, Harden, and Kyrie versus Giannis, Middleton, and Holiday. Like, you know what I'm saying? We'll go game by game with them. We win game 1 there as well. We win game 2 there. What is going on right now? We just swept the Brooklyn Nets, and here come the 76ers, who ultimately can never beat the Celtics in the playoffs. But I have a weird feeling this might be the year. We lose game 1. We win game 2 on the road. We win game 3. We're 2-2, so we officially have a best-of-3 series. We do not have home court advantage. We go down 3-2. Going back to Boston here for game 6. We're going to game 7 in Philadelphia. I do not hop into games unless it's the NBA Finals. So we'll see what happens here in our first season in the Eastern Conference Finals, and we end up getting eliminated. What was the final score of game number 7? It was 135-110, so it really wasn't a nail-biter anyways, even if I wanted to hop in. And the Philadelphia 76ers and Joel Embiid go on to win the finals. It's funny because, in the game, they have Ben Simmons, obviously, but in real life, he's on, a mental health hiatus because if he got bullied on Twitter or whatever. But, yeah, we're going to head back into our first offseason right now. The salary cap will not change. I'll just reject that. I don't know if it's going up or down. But we'll now do the draft lottery, which we don't have any picks in. Rockets end up with the first overall pick, and then it's the Thunder, and followed by the Cavaliers, who are a very good team this year in real life. I'll do some coaching stuff. Look, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I do not know if Ime Udoka is the long-term answer in Boston as the head coach. I respect him because what he's been doing recently in his press conferences post-game is calling out a lot of guys who didn't play well. I know he did it to Robert Williams the other night, and I think he does need to do it more often. But what I don't want is another situation where the locker room is just an absolute shambles. We all saw that with Kyrie Irving in Boston. We finally got past that stage. It kind of happened with Kemba a little bit, and now I'm hoping it doesn't happen again because there's some problems if it does. Shot doctor is something we definitely need to focus on. Post defense coach, I'll take this dude right here. I'll sign 2 new head coaches. Again, not a huge fan of the coaching stuff, but I mention that every video, so I will not mention it today. Up to the NBA draft, we do have our first round pick at number 21. We also have the 21st overall pick in round number 2. And what I wouldn't mind doing right now is maybe moving up in the draft a few spots, but I don't really know if I want to trade any of these guys right here. I do think I'm going to eventually trade Marcus Smart. I just don't think it's going to be right now. Also, shit, did Al Horford retire? That would really suck. He did not. Okay, that's huge for me because he's definitely going to get traded. Okay, you know what? I'll actually stick with the 21st overall pick. I have no idea who I'm going to be drafting, but I definitely don't need to draft anybody with that second round pick. But we'll stick in, pick number 21, see if we can get anybody decent, maybe a shooter off the bench, defensive piece like that. Julian I don't know, AJ Griffin. I don't mind the backup small forward aspect of it just because Jason Tatum doesn't have a great backup right now. So let's take AJ Griffin out of Duke. The kid is 18 years old. Welcome to Boston. Hopefully going to be a decent overall for me. Probably not. He's actually a 74. Actually could get some decent minutes, potentially some decent playing time. I am going to bring Horford back. I think Horford is now going to be in a trade. We're not going to give any of these guys the qualifying offer. Sam Hauser's actually been shooting pretty decent for the Celtics, but other than that, we're just going to skip through all of those. We now enter a free agency class where we really don't have anybody of too significant importance. We also definitely don't have any money. It's time to make a pretty big move. I'll see you guys with that trade. We're going to go ahead and try to pick up Kristaps Porzingis here from the Dallas Mavericks. Now, I know a lot of you are probably saying you don't love the hypothetical idea of starting 2 centers, and I guess maybe Kristaps could technically be a center, whatever way you do want to label it. But I think Kristaps Porzingis is going to be able to hopefully shoot the basketball maybe a little bit better than Al Horford, maybe stretch the floor a little bit. And I know I don't hypothetically need to trade Al Horford. He's just getting a little old, and I am worried about some retirement problems. So we're hopefully going to pick up Kristaps Porzingis. It's not a huge upgrade overall-wise, but in the grand scheme of things, I would definitely not mind having a guy like Porzingis on this team who has shown some potential. I said definitely twice. Who's shown some potential, shown some obvious flash, typically for the most part. He's actually looked really good this year in real life, but you know what I'm talking about, his days in New York. But Kristaps Porzingis, welcome to Boston, going to be my new starting power forward. Our starting 5 is definitely figured out at this point. What I need to do is figure out the bench and the rest of the team. So Smart's still here. I know I said I was possibly going to trade Smart, but he's here now, and we have him. Might as well. I don't think we're going to get a huge upgrade off the backup, point guard besides him. You need to figure out a new backup shooting guard. We're going to have AJ Griffin here. I don't know if he's 100% going to play for us. He's actually only 6'6". What's his overall like if I move him to shooting guard? Goes down to a 72. All right, I'm just going to keep him on the bench unit for now. Probably really not going to play a ton, but other than that, I don't really mind him there. Could get a few minutes if needed. So we're probably going to look to trade Peyton Pritchard for a first-round pick. He's actually been pretty decent in real life this year, but I don't really think in the game I do need him right now. If I can get maybe a shooting guard for him that's a little bit better than probably maybe some of my free agency options, I would take it. But other than that, we're just going to take a first-round pick here from the Detroit Pistons, and we'll go ahead and sign one. So Gary Payton II, honestly, why not? Welcome to the team. Going to be, what was he, like a 78 overall? Not bad at all. We're going to let everybody else here pretty much just walk. And we are all set. And Gary Payton II going to be my new backup shooting guard. I will see you guys at the start of year number 2 here in Boston. Start of year number 2 for us in Boston. Spencer Dinwiddie has gone down to an 80 overall for God knows what reason. The man's 29 years old, but I guess he was a little bit down in the scoring department, whatever the situation may be. He's down to an 80 overall. I'm hoping he still plays well for us. Him, Jaylen Brown, who's just not gone up in overalls at all, because 2K makes so much sense. Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, and Robert Williams is our starting 5. Our bench unit, Gary Payton II takes over the 6th-man roles. Xavier Tillman still here, Grant Williams, and then Marcus Smart getting 14 minutes a night. He's actually technically our last guy in a rotation. But yeah, we're going to make some probably moves with Marcus Smart this offseason. I will see you guys at the end of year number 2 here in Boston. So year number 2 comes to an end, and we are a 2 seed here in the Eastern Conference. You love to see it. You honestly do. I didn't think this team got that much better, but according to 2K, we did. Trae Young, first career MVP. I'll be interested to see if he enters the MVP conversation over the next couple years. Jabari Smith Jr., Rookie of the Year is in Oklahoma City. Isaiah Hartenstein, 6th man. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Brandon Clark, and Nate McMillan is your Coach of the Year. So we're a 2 seed. You honestly do love to see it. Standings-wise, finished with a record of 59-23. Remember what year was it? Was it 2017, 2018? The Celtics. There was one year that we were a 1 seed. And I just wish we could take me back to those days. Obviously, we didn't make the finals or anything, but I don't know, man. Just felt good for a minute. Jason Tatum doing his thing. He was definitely in the MVP conversation. Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis looking like he was an upgrade there over Al Horford, Robert Williams, Spencer Dinwiddie, Gary Payton, Xavier Tillman, Smart, Grant Williams, Mo Harkless even down there getting some minutes. Rebounds went to Tatum, actually, and assist was Dinwiddie. So, we'll sim the play and see who we got here in the first round. Going to be the Miami Heat, Kyle Lowry, Victor Oladipo, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Anderson, Bam Adebayo. I do not know how you don't have Tyler Hero starting at this point. He's another guy I was just so wrong on. He's been so good this year in real life. And good for him, honestly. We're up 3-1 here on the Miami Heat. We do close them out in 4 games. Moving on to Cleveland. Garland, Isaac Okoro, Chetty Osman, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen, Colin Sexton, Markkanen, Kevin Love. They had a high pick. They took Paolo Banchero with it. That's a good, deep team over there in Cleveland. Let's see if we can get by them. We're up 2-1 right now. We go up 3-1, and we're moving on to the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals to take on MVP Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. Young, Herter, Hunter, Collins, Capella, Cam Reddish, Yeka Okongwu, Dwayne Dedmon off the bench. I forget the name of the GM in Atlanta, but kudos to him. He's doing a hell of a job rebuilding there as we sweep them out of the building. And the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to be taking us on in the NBA Finals. Honestly, if I had to pick a team out of the Western Conference to take on, Timberwolves probably pretty high on the list. They're good, but I don't think they're nearly as good as we are. We're up 2-0 right now. We go up 3-0. And are we finally going to be getting the Celtics a championship? Oh, my God. It would feel so... Dude, the things I would do for the Celtics to win a championship right now, it would... I feel like, honestly, it's like the same... Not the same. Okay, that's a stretch. I was going to compare it to, like, the Buffalo Bills winning a Super Bowl, but it's not nearly that bad. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I just want the Celtics to win a championship so bad, dude. I've been, like, championship deprived since Brady left, and I know how selfish that sounds, but honestly, we're not used to losing here. We're really not. All right, come on, boys. Let's close them out here on our home floor. We are up by... Oh, we're not at 1-on-1. I'll see you guys in there. I'm assuming a lot of you know that I am very bad at this game. I don't really try to hide that fact too often. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and try to close them out. I'm getting our starters, and I do not know why Gary Payton II is in the game right now. Free throw from Malik Beasley gets it to go. We have 1 timeout left. There's 2:20 left to go in the ball game. Yeah, why? Like, explain to me a planet that Jaylen Brown wouldn't be in this game right now. What the fuck was that? I don't know. Okay. Kristaps Porzingis also took Al Horford's number. All right. I'm going to try to play some defense here. Again, I'm not very good at this game. I do not want to cover Malik Beasley. I feel like he's going to cook me. All right. Oh, son. Did you get that? Did that fall? Kristaps Porzingis fouls him, but did you get that to fall? Tingus Ping is not having a great night. First free throw is up and good for Beasley. We're going to get Jaylen Brown back into the game, thank God. Just explain to me a situation that Jaylen Brown wouldn't be in the game right now if he hadn't fouled out. I don't know. All right, let's do our thing right now. Again, absolute dog shit at this game. But, yeah, we're going to kick it out here to Jason Tatum. Going to take a mid-range jumper. Not going to go. He's got 26 on the night. Yeah, this is what I mean by it's never fun. Like, I know you guys... That charge? Let's fucking go. I know a lot of you guys that always love the gameplay stuff, but, like... I'm not good at it. Like, I feel like it can only be so entertaining if I'm really not good at it. We got 1:45 left to go here at the TD Garden. This court's a lot lighter than the court is actually at the Garden. But, Robert Williams, can I just have a good pick? Right down to the rack. Bro, what are these animations? Go up! What are we doing? Oh, my God. This is painful. What the fuck was that? I don't know what is going on right now. Can I give Jaylen Brown the ball? 23 on the night for JB. Give me a good pick. Blow by him, go up and... Like, how hard is that? Why is Dinwiddie getting this, like, lollygag animation that he's going up and, like... God, it's like my grandmother's trying to take a layup. All right, off-ball D here. That's the name of the game. They don't even have Townsend, bro. Oh, D'Lo's going to hit that. Oh, my God, he missed. Big board for Robert Williams. Back over to Jaylen Brown because I don't really trust anybody else at this point. We're going to hopefully cross him out of his shoes. All right, nope, not happening. Pick by Tingus Pingus. That's a charge. Fuck. I'm fucking tragically bad at this game. Like, there's the layup animation. Yeah, I know. All right, 56 seconds left to go. I need to play pretty much the best defense of my life right now, which, again, that's a lot to ask right now. But we're going to see if we can get it done. Why is... No, Porzingis is not on D-Lo. Oh, my God. I bit. I'm so bad. I really am. I really, really am. All right, let me try to run a play. Oops, not sub. Where the fuck are the plays? Oh, well, floppy. All right. Dude, not where you need to be. JB. Oh, my God. It's a terrible release. Big board for Robert Williams. Going to get the putback to go. I'm still getting the release down on this game. They're going to take a timeout. 30 seconds left to go. I made sure the starters remained in the game. We're going to hopefully go ahead and just try to deny back. Oh, Jaylen Brown with the steal. Push it up to Jason Tatum. JT, mid-range jumper. Green light, baby. Let's fucking go. We're up by 1. They have no timeouts left to go. Lock it down, boys. Lock it down. I'm playing off-ball D. Jaylen Brown coming up clutch. Potentially the best player in the Celtics, but you're all not ready to have that conversation right now. We're playing that off-ball D. D'Lo's going to try to drive at the rack. No foul call. Let's go. Push it up. Let's go, baby. D'Angelo Russell fouls him, and we're going to the free throw line as they were in the bonus. Come on, big free throw right here. You're going to green light it, get it to go. They're going to have 10 seconds left and hopefully be down by 3 with no timeouts to go in this one. And the Celtics are hopefully going to get their first championship since 2008. Let's get it done, baby. I'm playing off-ball D here. I'm going to click on Robert Williams because, again, they don't really need anything but a 3. They're going to take it with McDaniels. He's going to miss. We're going to push it up. They're going to foul Dinwiddie. We're going to win a championship. I will see you guys with the Finals MVP. So it was painful, but ultimately we clutched it out, got a championship, and Jason Tatum is your Finals MVP. You can take a look at his numbers and his splits right there. We get the Celtics a championship. Technically, our goal of the video is accomplished, but of course, we are going to do one more season because I don't really like doing 2-season rebuilds. I think 5-season rebuilds are the most fun, but ain't nobody got time for that. It's Rockets, Wizards, Magic, your top 3 right there. The Rockets picks actually via Brooklyn. Always interested to see how some of those bigger trades end up biting people back in the ass. We're not going to do anything here. Coaching department's fine. I'm still questionable on Ime in real life, but again, in the game, he just won us a championship. We have 3 second-round picks. I'm not going to use any of them. I'll take the first overall pick in round number 2, but again, I don't really need it. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. All right, we're heading up to team player options right now. We'll see what we got. Porzingis declines. I definitely want to bring him back. Dinwiddie honestly might get traded. He hasn't been bad for us necessarily. I just think if I can maybe get an upgrade there for the final season. I'd like to bring back Kristaps Porzingis. He's going to cost a lot of money, but we just want a championship. We're going in the final anyways. I'm not trading Grant, so I'm just going to give him the qualifying offer glitch. And we should be good to go from there. We'll get both those guys back, and we're in a really good spot right now, man. We really, really are. I'm happy with this team. It is time to maybe look for a trade for Spencer Dinwiddie. It's nothing against him. I think we can maybe just get a little bit of an upgrade. I'll see you guys with a move. We're going to try to pick up Darius Garland here from the Cleveland Cavaliers, who's just been absolutely balling out. If you take a look at his numbers right here, it's going to hopefully cost us. I don't really want to trade AJ Griffin, but again, Jason Tatum's just not going to have a backup. So that gave me Darius Garland. It does not. How about if I include a couple first-round picks, perhaps? Could this get it done here? For us, I'll give you a 3. It's the final season. I don't really care. Welcome to the team, Darius Garland, going to be my new starting point guard. So what I need to figure out right now, also, I know I said I was going to potentially trade Marcus Smart. Unfortunately, it just really never came up. So I'm looking for a new backup point guard or shooting guard. Smart can play either. Will Barton, it's not really great. Alec Burks just a little too old for me. Oh, do I do it? No, he's too old at this point. I would love to bring back Isaiah Thomas to get him a championship here. Unfortunately, I just don't think it's really possible. I'll sign George Brooks, and I'm going to trade him for either a point guard or a shooting guard because Marcus Smart can honestly be either. It really doesn't matter. I actually prefer Smart at the shooting guard spot, but it's fine. George Brooks will do a first and a second, and literally absolutely levitating all our assets right now, but it's fine. I just want to pick up Gary Payton the second again. Do I want to bring Josh Richardson back? Not really. If I'm being honest with you, I really don't. Oh, boy. All right, we'll just pick up Gary Payton the second again. Welcome back to the team. We're all set. I'll see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final year here in Boston. And we enter the 3rd and final season here for us in Boston. We have a huge upgrade at the starting point guard spot, that being Darius Garland, followed by Jaylen Brown, who has not progressed a single overall. Thank you, 2K. Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, and Robert Williams. Our bench unit, Gary Payton the second, Xavier Tillman, Grant Williams, and Marcus Smart. It's a decent bench. Ultimately, it actually got us a championship last year, but it is what it is, man. I want to go back-to-back with this Celtics team. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3. 3rd and final season comes to an end. We are a 1 seed here in the Eastern Conference and number 1 in the power rankings. Trae Young back-to-back. In the MVP, Victor Wembanyama, your rookie of the year for Orlando. James Harden, 6th man of the year. That's not something I ever thought I'd say again. Funny. He originally switched teams because he was a 6th man and didn't get paid enough, and now he's switching. You're not switching teams, but he's just a 6th man again. Weird to see an MVP. It's just a hypothetical. It's weird to see somebody who's ever won an MVP be a 6th man. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Defensive Player of the Year. Chet Holmgren, Most Improved. Jamal Mosley, Coach of the Year. You really didn't want to give it to Ime? Like my fucking balls. NBA standings-wise, 61 and 21 for us. 2 games ahead of the Detroit Pistons. 56 and 26 over there for the New Orleans Pelicans. Season stats, Jason Tatum. Still doing his thing. Darius Garland, Jaylen Brown. We have 3 20-plus point per game scorers. Kristaps Porzingis, Robert Williams, Tillman, Gary Payton, Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, respectively. Rebounds went to Tatum, and assists was Darius Garland. We'll send the play in. We got the Toronto Raptors here in round 1. John Wall, Austin Rivers, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam. They're good. I feel like I can simulate the round pretty confidently right now. We win in 6, maybe not exactly what I wanted to do, but that's fine. I'd rather win in 4 or 5. For Young, Reddish, Hunter, Collins, Clint Capella, I believe we faced them in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. I'd like the same result of us winning and moving on. We're 2-2. We go up 3-2. We close them out in 6 games, and we got Cleveland now. Dinwiddie, Sexton, Osman, Mobley, Jarrett Allen, I believe. Yeah, we just did a swap with point guards, so we went ahead and probably got the better end of that deal in Darius Garland. We'll go game by game right now in the Eastern Conference Finals. We are up 2-1. We're up 3-1, and we officially win in 5. I don't think we've ever been down in a series since like the start of last year's playoffs. That's interesting. And here comes my favorite team to play, the Pelicans. You know, Zion's always super fun to try to play against in this game. Man's an absolute cheat code. We're down 2-1. We're 2-2. We're going best of 3. We go up 3-2, and we go back-to-back, and Jason Tatum wins his second Finals MVP. You love to see it. I love it when the plan falls together, all comes in line, and this team ended up being pretty goddamn good. I gave my thoughts about the Celtics pretty much to the most that I can without like bitching about them. I don't want to sit here and bitch about them right now. But if you ever have any more thoughts on them, feel free to go follow my Twitter. I share my thoughts on there pretty religiously on, you know, pretty much every single time something bad happens, which is pretty much every single time the Celtics play. But other than that, that wraps this one up. I mentioned this in my video yesterday. If you guys want to see any challenges or anything like that, let me know down below in the comments section. This is the last video you're going to see of 2021, so I hope everybody has a safe and happy New Year's. I know I will. That wraps this one up. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.